Hi, it's Dave Rudin, and we're back this week talking to some of the CIAC Scholar Athlete Award winners. And joining me right now, and we could probably talk for about 45 minutes, but we'll try to keep it to 10, is Darien's female recipient, and that's Sophia Talwalkar. Sophia, congratulations and thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
As well as everybody else see, you probably have a void on about 20 different things you're missing out on right now. So how the last 7 weeks been for you?
They've been interesting, to say the least. Luckily, a lot of my activities have kind of found ways around the whole coronavirus pandemic. So we're doing a lot of Zoom calls, trying to put together videos instead of doing rehearsals for like the musical and for other groups that I'm in. So it's tough, but it's kind of encouraging that everyone's sort of been able to come up with their own plan and get around the obstacles.
Well, we'll get to Sophia's on the volleyball team. We'll talk a little volleyball at the end, but you've got so many other cool things to talk about. Let's go there. Number one, leading the school play and a singer. So how did you get into acting? And I know that's a possible career goal of yours.
Yeah, so when I was really young, the first movie that I actually ever saw, I saw it when I was 3 years old, I believe, was The Wizard of Oz. And right then and there, my mom used to tell me stories that I would run around the house like singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow and stuff like that. So I got into it at a pretty young age, and then from there I would watch Annie, that musical movie. That was a big one for me too. And then in 6th grade, I auditioned for my first musical, and that was at the middle school, and it was Aladdin Jr. And ever since then, I've been in a show every single year. And then I started doing at the Darien Summer School program. They have this really amazing program called MTW, the Musical Theater Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put on shows during the summer, and it's a really amazing experience because you get 1 month to put on a show. So I was used to putting on shows within like 3 months, but this is like, it's 1 month, 4 weeks. It's a time crunch, and like everyone works really hard together. So I did that for about 5 years. And then once I got to the high school, I aged out of the program and then just started doing all things Theater 308.
Okay, and I know you're going to Northwestern, and you're thinking of doing a dual major with theater being one of them.
Yep. I was really excited when I got into that program because a lot of my idols in entertainment, like Seth Meyers, he went there. So really excited.
Who are some of your other idols?
Wow. Probably Judy Garland, just because she has a voice like no other. And then I'd have to say probably artists like Pink Floyd and Steely Dan, anyone who's kind of sort of taken their own approach to music. I really value people that aren't afraid to just kind of like put all their crazy ideas into a project and release it and just kind of see what happens. It's a really brave thing to do, and I don't know that many people that have the courage to do that.
That's actually now we're getting to the point I want to talk about. I never get to talk about this with high school students, but you're also you're in a rock band, you told me.
Yes, yeah, through School of Rock in New Canaan.
Okay, how many people in the band?
We have right now, I'd say about 12 people in the band.
Okay, it's when you told me Steely Dan, that was Steely Dan was one of my favorite groups in high school, and I have every one of their records. So anybody who can't buy a thrill, I love all of that Pretzel Logic. So Asia. So and then you told me you just mentioned Pink Floyd, which is one of my another one of one of the guitar solo on "Have a Cigar" is actually one of my ringtones.
Oh, you're kidding!
No. And I
Oh, it's
actually,
amazing.
do you know Pink Floyd really well?
Um, I know some of their albums better than others. So like,
Which, because my favorite Pink Floyd album is usually not everybody else's. What's your favorite Pink Floyd album?
oh God, either Animals
You got,
or
okay, you just want to, you got a Rude and Report T-shirt for that.
you're
I
kidding.
love, nah, nah. Yeah, I love Animals. That to me is their best. And everybody usually says, uh, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were
Yeah,
Here, and
yeah.
they're great albums, but I absolutely love the lyrics on Animals are like searing.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I remember listening to Sheep for the first time. And so I mean, I'm not a religious person, but so I didn't know when he starts saying like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, that part. I had no idea that it was part of another prayer. So I think I was in sometimes I help out at Norotan Presbyterian Church with Mr. Condon, and I like heard during one of the services, like the congregation was saying that prayer, and I was like, are they saying a Pink Floyd song? Like, are they saying Sheep? And I was like, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense.
And when Roger Waters was just, and I'm definitely, I don't talk politics at all publicly, but Roger Waters on his last tour was actually, playing some, I forget the names of the songs because they're just which is which. But during, as an anti-Trump song, he was playing. He had photos of Trump playing during one. I can't remember the name of which song it is now, but
Wow.
that's really weak that I'm talking about how much I love Animals and I always forget which song is which.
Yeah,
Pigs
right.
on
Well,
the
like
Wing, Dog, Sheep.
yeah, Dogs is 17 minutes is pretty much a whole album in and of itself.
I can say this is the first time in all my years as a sports writer I've ever talked Pink Floyd Animals with any little athlete. So that's really cool for me. And let's end up with a little bit of volleyball. How about your career, Darien's? When you talk Darien volleyball, it's one of the most revered programs in the state. What was that like for you?
Coach LaRusso is like one of the most incredible human beings you will ever meet in your entire life. I went into that program having never played volleyball. I think I did one clinic one time when I was like 12, but I'd never really like touched a ball and like played like that before. And she just has a way of explaining things that it just makes sense and like it just clicks. And one thing she always does is she gives us these quote sheets at the end of every practice, and they're supposed to
The
like,
man in the mirror or the
yeah, the man in the mirror. And then she finds new ones like every week. And she always has a little theme to kind of remind us what it means to be a good teammate, to be a good player, but also just to be a good person. And she's taught me so much about taking responsibility for your actions and having grit and just being kind to others too. Because I think it's, as a player, it's easy to get in your own head and to kind of just worry about what you want to do. But when you're on a team, you have to worry about what everybody else around you is doing, and you have to think about how you're interacting with each part of the team. And so she kind of got me out of my own head and sort of like connected me with the rest of the team. I love that woman to death. She's amazing.
She's been a role model for a lot of volleyball players for a long time there. So.
Yeah.
Well, Sophia, it's been a lot of fun for me. So when we get back to normal, I'm coming. I hear you do the vocal solo on "Gimme Shelter." So I'm gonna when we get done here, I'm gonna go find Lisa Fisher on YouTube doing the female solo on "Gimme Shelter." And you really, it's very obvious why you were a Darien Scholar Athlete recipient. You're into a lot of cool things, and I have no doubt the future is bright for you. So congratulations again, and thanks a lot for taking the time here.
Thank you.